I thought to myself, you know, any single time I'm feeling inspired, I'm going to whip out the camera, right? And I'm going to just shoot a quick video, okay? And as I was just walking along here, you know, it's a very nice day here in the UK. And as I've just been walking along, I've just been thinking to myself, once upon a time, I used to buy loads of courses, okay? I used to buy lots of courses, all right? And I pivoted from buying so many courses to getting mentorship. And it's like, well, why? You know, what is the difference? So I used to buy course after course, you know, anything that used to be out there online, you know, oh, all you need to do is just press this button. All you need to do is just press this button and, you know, you'll go on and you will make all this money. All you got to do is this, all you got to do is that. And I used to be very inspired by that sort of thing. So I'd buy course after course. Unfortunately, never really start generating much income. I mean, look, I'm not going to lie to you. There was one course, you know, and I'm even going to give them some credit right now because they did really teach me some stuff. And it was called MLSP. At the time, it was called, what was it? My Lead System Pro, or MLM Lead System Pro at the time. But they changed the name called My Lead System Pro. And I jumped on board this platform, and it was years ago. And you know, in about 2000 and maybe 2008 or 2009. And do you know what? It really helped me to understand about digital marketing. It was a great course. It really was. It didn't allow me to have the cutting edge. It didn't give me the cutting edge of what I really needed to go on to really now start achieving a lot more success. But it definitely gave me some real clear insight in terms of marketing, you know, it taught me how to build a website and all these types of things. So I'm not saying courses are really bad, because there are some out there that are good. I'm just not a big fan of this, oh, you know, all you need to do is just press this button and then you're going to start making all this money, because you're not. It doesn't work like that, okay? I'm just being honest with you. It really genuinely doesn't. Now, I got to a point, I think it was 2011, yeah, in like the summer of 2011. By this time, I tried all these different courses. You know, the My Lead System Pro was pretty good, but you know, lots of the others were just, you know, wasn't that great. You know, I don't know if you remember the days of like Empower Network and all that sort of stuff. So I was trying all stuff like that, and yeah, I made a little bit of money here and there, but you know, again, not really the real cutting edge things that really go on to, you know, really help you to change your lifestyle, you know, to change your life. So I tried all these network marketing companies, multi-level marketing companies, all this stuff, all this, yeah, all you got to do is just recruit 2 people, and, you know, they recruit 2 people, and before you know it, you're making money. So all these easy ways of making money is what I tried. But in 2011, I had enough. You know, when you just get sick to death of trying something, it's not working. It's like, look, all these courses, you know, I've learned you know, a few things here and there, but on a whole, it's not really cutting it. It's not really going to get me to where it is that I really want to be. All these courses, I'm spending, you know, lots of money on this stuff. We're talking thousands of pounds by this time. So I just thought to myself, you know what, to hell with this. To hell with all of this. Instead of spending all this money on courses, why don't I just get a mentor to really show me what to do? So that's the reason why I just thought, right, that's it. I'm not on this. I'm going to get a mentor. And that's exactly what I did. And the first mentor that I had, he was great. I mean, he was the guy that was said to me, you know, well, you know, if you want to create mastery on the internet, well, who's your digital marketing mentor? And I'm like, well, I ain't got one. He's like, what do you mean you ain't got one? Are you serious about success or not? I'm like, well, yeah. And he's like, well, look, do something about it then. So, you know, he was great. It was hard, yeah. He was tough love, you know. He's the one that's like, what do you mean? What, you think you're going to be successful for these, you know, stupid little gimmicky type, you know, get rich quick stuff? Like, Jay, just sell a friggin' product. Just find something of good quality and sell a good friggin' product. What's the problem? All this get rich quick crap. Has it worked for you yet? Yeah, but the thing is, this is what I was saying. Oh, but the thing is, it's like, Jay, don't give me none of that shit about the thing is, yeah. Just sit down and get, you know, think of a business plan and come up with something that is actually tangible properly. So that's exactly what it was I did. And then after that, I then went and got myself my digital marketing mentor. By this time, you know, I'd had enough. I'd had enough of all this gimmicky stuff. I'd had enough of get rich quick. I'd had enough of just surviving, of just struggling. You know, so by the time I then got to my digital marketing mentor now, and I just seeked out these people. I mean, people say, oh yeah, how do I find a mentor? How do I find a mentor? Well, you obviously don't want it enough. You know, if you want it bad enough, then you can find anything that you want. You know, it's like if a loved one was really sick and you had to go and find the XYZ doctor, you know, that is based in, you know, the Amazon rainforest somewhere, because it's a loved one and, you know, you don't want to risk, you know, not having a loved one around anymore, you will do whatever it takes to find that doctor. The same must apply to when it comes down to mentorship, you know. So, you know, the guy that I looked at the time, like the first mentor, he was so real. And I was so fed up with all this fluff and all this, oh yeah, well, we got to do, you know, we got to do. I was so fed up with all of that. This guy was so real, you know, really real, no fluff. That's what I used to say, right, you are no fluff. His name was Wilson, right? It's like, you are no fluff. And I really appreciated that. And then he encouraged me to get my digital mentor, a guy called Simon. Absolutely love this guy. You know, I've done a podcast with Simon. It's going to be on my YouTube channel somewhere. It's also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You know, anywhere where you get your podcast from, just type in "Serious About Success" and listen to the podcast with me and Simon, because that guy is a special guy. And I'm so glad that I met this guy. And he had a training program, a training company. And I said to him, look, you know, I want to stick to you like glue. Like literally, I said, I want to stick to you like glue. You know, so I paid to join his program, but I said, look, this is not just a program for me now. This is my life. This is it. You know, so he took me under his wing. He said, all right, Jay, no problem. You know, if you're serious about it, well, come on then. So that's exactly what we did. He took me under his wing. I was his driver at the time, you know, like in terms of I was driving about for him, because I'm like, look, you know, I want to be close to you. So yes, I'm going to pay you to be a part of your mentorship or your coaching program. But I'll also, you know, if you're speaking at an event round there, I'll pick you up. I'll be your driver. Yeah, if you need me to now be a security guard, you know, I've done martial arts all my life, right? Like, you know, I'm a tough guy, you know, so if you need security, when you get off some of these big stages and you get swamped by people, I'll be that guy, yeah, that just like, everyone get back. You know, in addition, I'll hand out brochures. I don't really give a shit, yeah? I don't really give a damn, right? Just whatever I've got to do within reason, yeah? Within reason, okay? But what I'm saying is that just being prepared to do whatever, you know, loving that having that mentor, that person that can give me some real solid guidance and stuff like that. So that was the difference. And then by having the right mentors, then you can get proper mentorship. So the difference between courses and mentorship is you can get somebody properly looking over your stuff. You know, a mentor is going to help you develop. A course is going to just give you some information, which is cool, but a mentor will help you develop. And that was the difference, is he helped me to develop, both them, you know, Wilson and Simon, they both helped me develop. Wilson from a real strong mindset perspective, Simon from strategies and opportunities, because that's what can also come, you know, opportunities, yeah, as well. So, you know, that's what I did, you know, that's the process of what I went through. And within 6 months, you know, I've been trying all these courses for years. We're talking since what, 2008 maybe, is when I probably bought my first course, 2008. And, you know, and again, I'm scratching about, trying to make it work. The mentorship, I met this guy, you know, I met these guys in 2011/2012. You know, by the end of 2012, I was handing in my notice and leaving the day job. So the mentorship is what helps you develop. Yeah, it helps you develop into who you need to become, because that's what we all need to focus on is, well, all of this, you know, we love the idea of digital marketing. We love the idea of some of these strategies. You know, we love the idea of making money whilst we sleep. All right, well, who do we need to become in order to develop into that person that can get them type of results, okay? So that's what a mentor can help you do. So I've been forever thankful, you know, if you're still at a point where you're taking lots of courses, look, sometimes we need to go through that process. We need to do that. You know, we might see it as a cheaper way. And, you know, I'm not saying that there's not anyone on the planet that has just watched a course and then gone on to achieve success. Of course, no doubt there would be, you know, somebody, you know, few and far between though, I can tell you that much, but there will be somebody out there, right? But like I say, if you're trying these things, sometimes you have to go through this stuff to just see what works for you and what doesn't. If you're trying these things, brilliant, do the courses, it's a bit cheaper, that sort of thing, but again, if you get to a point where it's like, I just want success and you're that hungry for it and it's eluding you and these courses are not helping you produce the results of what you're really looking for, then get yourself a mentor. Stop wasting your time. Obviously, of course, we do mentorship. There's other people out here on YouTube that potentially would be a mentor. You've got to find the right one that works really well for you. If you can resonate with that mentor, even better. But, importantly, if you can get to know your mentor and they can get to know you, that's really important. People will still say, oh, yeah, but Jay, how do you get a mentor? The thing is, I can't get a mentor, yeah. Look, just think about the town that you live in. The person that owns the restaurants or the car garage or whatever it may well be, what's to stop you from going up to that person and saying, look, I've been eating in your restaurants for the last 5 years, yeah? I've seen how you've grown tremendously well. I would love somebody like you to mentor me, Now, look, I can't guarantee you that they're going to say yes. However, if you then also come with some form of an exchange, so exchange. Don't just come just expecting everything for free. Why should people give you stuff just for free? Exchange. That might be a financial exchange, or let's just say if you're in a position, because I get this sometimes, Jay, the thing is, I'm really, really, really broke. Yeah, I've got no money. I haven't got a job at the moment. I'm in between jobs. I'm on universal credit, blah, 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 blah. Can't afford it. All right, we'll come up with some other form of exchange. Wash that mentor's car. Why don't you, wash that mentor's car every single Friday, for example? What do you think they're going to say? If you're hungry, Mr. or Mrs. Mentor, a restaurateur, I've been eating in your restaurant for the last 5 years, I can see that you've done remarkably well, I would love somebody like you to mentor me. If you can give me an hour or two of your time once every 2 weeks or whatever it may well be, I'll wash your car every single Friday, or I will give you a financial exchange. What would you say if somebody like you who is hungry, like, yeah, I'm hungry for this, if somebody like you that is really hungry, if somebody approached you, you was that in that great position, and they gave an offer like that to you, what would you say? What would you say? Because lots of people would say, all right, well, let's see, let's find a way. But just don't go with your hand out, open with nothing in it to just say, give me. Why? Like, well, no, thanks, it's all right. You provide me with some value, and then guess what happens? Look, it's really straightforward, right? You start, either having a financial exchange or you wash that person's car. Before you know it, you then start having your mentoring sessions. Before you know it, you get to know them, they get to know you. Before you know it, they like you. Before you know it, because they like you, they want to give you opportunity. And that's it. Do you get what I mean? And before you know it, they're giving you opportunity so that they're mentoring you, teaching you what it is that they know, and then they're going to give you opportunity so that you can then apply what they've taught you, in a real world of business, and then you can then start getting some great results. Like I say, it's not as difficult as we make it out. In fact, it's really quite straightforward. It's really quite simple, but we make it hard. I tell you the reason why we make it hard is like, oh yeah, but the thing is, yeah, but that means I've got to approach that person and I've got to ask them, and what if they say no? And if they say no, I'm going to feel rejected. And what if I feel rejected? And then the thing is that on the Friday, if I wash the car, I don't even wash my own car, let alone wash their car. How am I going to feel? I'm too old. I'm a 40-year-old man. I'm now washing somebody's car. How do I feel? Like, who gives a shit? Really? Like, really? At the end of the day, do you not just want to get to where it is that you want to be? Like, no. If you just want to get to where it is that you want to be, then look, drop the ego, cut the bullshit. Who gives a damn? As long as you get the tuition and the information of what you need so that you can then go on and start achieving what you want to be achieving, that is the most important thing, all right? So look, from my perspective, from my world, courses are okay. They will teach you some stuff. However, they're not going to help develop you as an individual. It might teach you some strategy, but we know, as per the internet, as per ChatGPT, 20% of your success will come down to your strategy, okay? Will come down to the business models, come down to what it is that you're working with. However, 80% of your success will come down to you and who you are, of which the mentors will help you develop who you are, as well as give you some of the strategies as well. All right. So like I say, look, that's my little 2 pence. I hope you're enjoying this video. I hope this the quality of the camera is pretty good. You know, I think it's pretty good. Let's have a look at some of the scenery where I'm at right now. This is the UK. This is where I live right here. You know, it's really nice around here. All that sort of stuff. But I'm just loving this camera. You know, I'm just trying to get some angles here. You know, it's all looking good. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will look forward to touching base with you very, very, very soon. Until then, take care. Thank you. Bye bye.